I fold, you're gonna show, right?
You want me to show?
Yeah.
You can't make this stuff up. Let's see if he makes the raise.
He's a school teacher.
It's starting to sink in a little bit.
You've seen pros bluff, you've seen pros win, but you've never seen what happens when a math teacher traps poker pros for more money than most people make in 4 years. And I mean this man, David Fishman, who's just a regular math teacher from Tempe, Arizona, and a cancer survivor who walked into a room full of poker pros with nothing but his teaching salary. But wait until you see the insane hand that almost cost him everything. First of all, it starts innocently enough. Fishman looks down at King-Queen, a solid hand that any poker player would be happy to see. The flop comes, Ace-King-7, giving him a second pair. But here's where it gets really interesting. In poker, there's something called position. Basically, acting last gives you a massive advantage because you get to see what everyone else does first. So Fishman is sitting in a perfect position, and when the action gets checked to him, he fires a bet. Phil Laak is on the other side, who shocked the poker world in 2009 when he took down the Party Poker World Open, outlasting legends like Luke Schwartz and even his own girlfriend, poker pro and Hollywood actress Jennifer Tilly. Sitting with a mountain of chips, he decides to test the amateur. He raises, putting pressure on the teacher to see if he'll fold under the heat. But Fishman doesn't flinch. He calls.
Laak raises to 15,000. The pro folds. Yep, there's the call.
We've got Laak's attention now.
Deuce of clubs on the turn.
The turn brings a deuce, and both players check. Then comes the river, a 6 that changes nothing. Fishman checks, and Laak checks back. But here's where it gets even crazier. Fishman flips over his king-queen for the second pair. Laak, he was bluffing the entire time with absolutely nothing.
Check.
Laak checks.
I don't think Phil was raising us with a deuce, so I'm okay with that turn card. If we are ahead, he didn't catch up.
All right, we check. 6 of diamonds on the river.
I like our check on the turn because we got raised on the flop. Now, it's hard to think this 6 really made Phil's hand. Since we did check on the turn, even if Phil bets here, we should be prepared to look him up.
Phil's got chips. Nervous?
We'll see how big the bet is.
I check.
He checks. Shows the cannon
Check.
and shows. Let's see what Laak's got. Oh, he was bluffing.
Wow, he raised us on the flop with air. You can't push us around.
And the cannon picks up a pot of nearly 40 grand.
And just like that, the math teacher had taught his first lesson. Sometimes the best way to handle a bully is to stand your ground. Fishman scooped up nearly $40,000 in chips, and suddenly the pros weren't looking at him like some amateur anymore. They were looking at him like a threat. But things got even crazier and better when you see how this math teacher broke the mind of poker's biggest ego. Phil Hellmuth isn't just any poker player. He's the self-proclaimed poker brat with 16 World Series of poker bracelets. That's more than any player in history. But here's the thing about Phil. He's also famous for having epic meltdowns when things don't go his way. And our math teacher is about to give him the biggest lesson of his career. The hand starts with David Williams raising with Jack-10 suited, a decent hand that can make straights and flushes. Fishman holding Ace-Queen suited calls. Then Phil, sitting with pocket tens, raises to isolate and play heads up. The flop comes down. 5, 4, trade with 2 clubs. This is where it gets interesting. Williams has flipped an open-ended straight draw. He needs a 6 or 7 to make a straight. Hellmuth has an overpair with his pocket tens. And Fishman, he's got overcards and a flush draw.
This is a pretty easy call with a flush draw, gut shot, and 2 big cards.
And there it is by Fishman. 5 of hearts on the turn gives Hellmuth 2 pair. He bets 15 grand.
We know Fishman isn't getting great immediate odds since his pairs are still no good, but PH could be doing this with worse flush draws, and he's got enough behind for decent implied odds.
The turn brings the king of hearts, and suddenly, everything changes. Hellmuth now has 2 pairs, kings and tens. The straight draw is still alive, but now he's behind. Hellmuth fires out a bet, confident his 2 pair is best. But here's where Fishman shows his calculating mind. With his ace-queen, he's got outs to make a straight if a jack comes. In poker, we call these runner-runner possibilities. needing perfect cards on both the turn and the river.
Add it all up, and Fishman makes the call.
He's looking for a club or a 10.
The river, there's the 10 completing the straight.
Fishman swims the upstream battle and runs down the great one.
Action on Hellmuth.
23,600.
Bets 23-6.
And here's where the real show begins. Hellmuth, not realizing the danger, bets out $23,600 into the massive pot. He thinks his 2 pair is still good.
Action on Hellmuth.
23,600.
Bets 23-6.
23,600 into a $45,000 pot.
This is pretty dirty. Fishman's reverse pedaling the nuts. Clearly he's going to raise. The only question is how much, and can he get Phil to call?
I'm not gonna let you do this to me again, Phil. I can't let you do this to me again.
Leonardo DiCaprio could not be selling this any better.
How much you got behind? Was there an answer to that?
Like 85 or something.
I'm all in.
Fishman shoves.
He even fake hesitated. Watch that Oscar,
I'm done.
Leo.
I'm done, Phil.
I see method acting, improv, pantomime. If Phil calls here, the kid stays in the picture.
This is so sick. I mean, is it possible that I just get cooled every hand I play here? You got king, queen of clubs? I mean, I guess so.
Phil's put him on his exact hand, but if he does make this call, the loose cannon will have a profit of more than $140,000 and will be poised to take down that NAPT passport.
God, all that talking leads me to believe that. Wow.
Now, that might be real. I'd certainly be shaking either way.
All right, I call.
Hellmuth calls and sees king, queen of clubs.
Bingo!
See, if a club comes, I don't lose 1 nickel in this hand.
What a pot for Fishman.
I mean,
10, 9, 8, 7, 6.
can I even play in this game? I mean, what the they find? I mean, what the?
That was a great read, by the way. You had him.
You're a real classy guy, buddy. You are.
Who? Him?
You.
Why? What did I do?
Why would you say that? I mean, why would you? I mean, what are you trying to do? The guy hits a miracle 10 on me, and what? You want to just step
He's
on
a
me?
school teacher, and you and him have endless trunks of money. Endless trunks of money. He's a school teacher. For God's sakes, man.
Screaming will do you a lot of good.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Phil Hellmuth at his finest, blaming everybody except himself for his own bad decision. Well, Fishman just sits there quietly, watching a poker legend have a complete psychological breakdown over a hand he read perfectly but couldn't fold. What he did next had the pros looking at each other like, who the hell is this guy? David Fishman is sitting under the gun. That's poker speak for the worst possible position where you have to act first with zero information. He peeks at his cards and sees the holy grail of poker, pocket aces.
The cannon is pretty likely to tighten up here.
Aces for the cannon. Still aces.
You can't make this stuff up. Let's see if he makes the raise.
Let's put this into perspective. In poker, pocket aces are called pocket rockets or American Airlines, and for good reason. They are the best possible starting hand you can get. The odds of being dealt pocket aces? About 1 in 221 hands. Most players would wait their entire career for a spot like this. But here's exactly where David Fishman shows he's not like most players. The entire table is watching as his math teacher contemplates what should be the easiest decision in poker.
He's thinking of set pedaling, boys.
Nice call, Laak.
He's thinking.
Throws him away.
What?
2 to the flop. 6 king, 6 quads for Laak.
I can't believe it, Vance. David Fishman folds aces, would have been outflopped by quads. If this happened in a movie, I would say it's too unrealistic.
Laak bets 3,300.
The guy's got a wife and kids at home counting on him, and sometimes the smartest play isn't the obvious play. The flop comes down. 6, king, 6. And Phil, he flips over pocket sixes, giving him 4 of a kind on the flop. But here's the beautiful part. This wasn't all luck. This was a math teacher doing what math teachers do best, calculating risk versus reward. Fishman knew that no amount of money was worth risking his family's future. He played not just the cards, but the situation.
The reality of this moment is hitting David Fishman, who's up 3 times his yearly salary right now.
You know, I usually say there's no crying in poker, but in this case, I think it's understandable.
It's starting to sink in a little bit.
While other players chose glory, David Fishman was protecting what mattered most. And in that moment, Folding the best hand in poker became the smartest play he could make. After hours of outplaying poker legends, David Fishman sits with a stack of chips that represents more money than most people see in years. Now here's what makes this so incredible. $129,600 is more than 3 times what David makes in a full year teaching math. This isn't just winning money, this is life-changing.
Perkins folds.
I had you that time, David. I would have had you that time.
With what?
I had kings.
What?
I did.
You so baloney.
I'm catching all the great stuff now.
He did what was probably right for him.
It's right to fold everything if that's is life-changing money to you, which it is for him.
He did the math on his life, and he was like, okay, this is a huge windfall.
A school teacher walked into a room full of millionaire poker pros with nothing but his teaching salary and a dream. He folded pocket aces when his gut told him to. He called down bluffs when logic said to. And he walked out with enough money to change his family's life forever.
You sitting down?
What did you win?
$129,600.
God, you can't keep all that money.
Fishman proved that night that the house doesn't always win. Sometimes the random math teacher does. If you enjoyed today's episode, then stick around because we've got more great poker plays coming your way. And before you go, don't forget to smash that like and subscribe button, and we'll see you in the next one.